carry an aerial threat.
I don't think it's any surprise that players are turning out for Rangers and having to play with little niggly injuries, because time after time, I mean, some of these players playing tonight, particularly the internationals, have played over 25 games this season. It really is ridiculous.
So it's Abdi Pele to take the corner kick. Gorham commits himself. This is Murray running into a bit of trouble in the shape of Demeco. This is Soze switching the play to Abdi Pele. Marseille look as if they can create some more pressure here in the final minutes before half-time. Abdi Pele, who has a terrific shot on his left foot. He cracked one against the bar, I remember, in the pre-season friendly.
Yeah, he's been quite quiet in the first half, Abdi Pele. It's this man that's on the ball just now, Bowler, that's been the most impressive forward for Marseille. And for somebody that's supposed to be having troubled times with the French champions, he certainly looked very impressive.
And here come Marseille again. And it's John Brown providing the cover. Well, Richard Gough is limping there and looking none too happy. If Rangers were to lose him tonight, it would be a serious blow. Gough is looking very uncomfortable indeed, and you really do wonder if he'll be able to last much longer.
Yeah, he looks to be struggling pretty badly, and I mean, obviously a huge blow to lose your captain and a player such as influential as Richard Gough. But when you look over at the Rangers dugout, I mean, it's frightening to think they could lose any player off the field tonight, because it really is a very inexperienced substitutes, and of course Davy Dodge, the reserve team coach, is stripped and ready for action on the bench as well.
So just under 5 minutes of the first half left. Well, Richard Gough had to leave the field in the Skull Cup final against Aberdeen, and then in the Old Firm match against Celtic at Parkhead. I don't see any way he can go through the 90 minutes here tonight. Paisley's offside there, and the flag went up immediately. So if Paisley obviously unhappy there, but if Gough fails to reappear for the second half, obviously David McPherson will have to move into centre back. Young Neil Murray is a right back. Of course, McCall can also fill in that position. But the omens are not looking at all good for Rangers here tonight. And the fact that Durant has to go so deeply into his own half, I think tells you a fair bit of the story. That's Bolly's header. This is Deschamps. Trevor Steven got the touch there. This is Soze, but Deschamps fouled Trevor Steven there, and the referee right on the spot towards the free kick, which is quickly taken. But again, Marseille with plenty of players in the middle of the field. They win it back. This is Vola. Switch by Soze to Demeco. They really do have a great awareness of where their teammates are. Just about 3 minutes of this first half left, and Rangers trailing by a goal to nil. There's Gough's header, McPherson to Durant, and it was Marcel Desailly sending the ball out of play for the throw to Rangers. Well, it would be a huge psychological lift to them if they could pull something back here, but really they have failed to sustain any pressure on this Marseille defence in the first half.
Yeah, they made a tremendous comeback against Leeds United after that early goal in the last round here at Ibrox, but you just wonder with the first half performance tonight whether they could pull this one back. The signs are not good.
Here come Marseille again. It's Soze leaving it to Deschamps. He's getting a lot of space here. Well, again, the Rangers defence backing off. And they have a real problem here, just under 2 minutes of this first half left. Richard Gough, again, in trouble, and Deschamps running right at the defence. That's Fuller's touch to Boksic. It's won by McCall to Durant. In steps Demeco. The offside flag is up. The referee, the waving play on. It's laid off by Mikhailichenko. The Rangers just cannot get going here at all. And there's no doubt that the loss of Ali McCoist has upset the plans up front. And now Richard Gough struggling, and John Brown at 6s and 7s there. David Robertson in close proximity, but Walter Smith is really going to have to sort out this defence at half-time. What we're hoping at the moment is that they don't lose another goal in this final minute of the first half. And the ball runs out of play for the throw to Rangers. It really is impossible, Gordon, to see Richard Gough remaining on much longer. Yeah, well, he's struggling badly just now, but I just wonder if it's the same groin injury, because if it had been, I'd have thought he'd went off by now. And there's another terrific effort, this time from Abdi Pele, and Marseille showing the speed of their attacks.
We were just saying there that he'd been having a pretty quiet first half, but he bursts into life here. Baller sets him up nicely, and a good long-range effort that wasn't that far away.
So it's Hateley climbing for it. He really needs some support in there with him. Feed off these knockdowns, and there's no one there to do it. It's David Robertson sending it clear. So the final seconds ticking away. We're now into injury time in this first half. And there goes the half-time whistle. Well, it's been a difficult first half for Rangers, losing a goal after 30 minutes to Alan Boksic there. So the half-time score here at Ibrox: Olympique Marseille 1.
And the fact that Rangers can't get the ball up front and hold it there for the lads to get up and join him, and consequently Marseille having so much time in possession of the ball that they're just running the show.
As Ray says, Davey, Marseille so much possession.
Yeah, they're having a lot of possession. They are a quality side. If you give them the room that the Rangers players are giving them just now, then you're going to suffer. I think, as Ray says, when the ball's played up to Mark Hateley, we don't seem to be getting people up to support him enough, and they're getting so much time in the ball, and the goal has just really given them the initiative now.
Predictably, Ray, Rangers pushed forward early. Ian Durant was through, but was just cut offside.
Yes, that's right. I didn't actually know whether it was Ian or Big Mark in the middle. Ian makes a great run. He bends his run. It's a great ball from McCall there. And the goalkeeper was a little bit out of order, taking him. Yeah, he was. I think Ian was offside. But that's the type of run, as Gordon said on commentary, that Rangers really need to break them down. Absolutely.
We all moaned and groaned when Mikhailichenko shot wide. It was a difficult one for him to take.
Yeah, it came over here. Mark Hateley was up with the goalkeeper, but it was a great chance in the end up. I thought he could maybe try to put it near post, but he's hit it across goal and nobody else coming in. A very good chance at that time. That could have swayed it in Rangers' favour at that time.
Shortly after that, Ray, Andy Gorham, as he did so often to Ellen Road, he came to Rangers' rescue, this time from Rudy Voller.
Yeah, that's right. You've got Vuller cutting in. I was a bit worried about John Brown going to the floor there, because Vuller, he's different class and he's played in Italy, and here he goes, cutting across the face of the box. If John stands on his feet, he keeps him running across, but he doesn't. He goes down, gets in a good shot, and Andy makes a nice save.
Great one-handed save. Hateley, we've spoken about him, Davey. He's up front in his own, and it's tough for him. I mean, he got up to a great McPherson cross, but it's hard for him.
Yeah, it's very hard. He's not getting any support at all. That's one of the small chances in the game that he did have. He was unlucky there. Maybe the conditions, it's come off his head and went past the post, but I've seen him score from there. But it really has got a very tough job tonight up there himself. We'd really need to get support to him a lot quicker.
Hateley and others, the way it's going, Ray, are going to get mighty weary, aren't they?
Yes, they are, because he's having to do a lot of chasing around on his own up there to try and at least regain a bit of possession when Marseille have the ball. I think Rangers have obviously settled with the fact that they're going to retreat a little bit, let Marseille play around the halfway line, but make sure they're solid at the back. Consequently, they're giving away so much possession and giving the French now a lot of time in possession of the ball, and they're very talented players.
Sure are. Well, we'll take a break there. In a couple of minutes, more of the moments that mattered in the first half, and then the whole of the second half live. Getting used to that music. We're talking about the first half of Rangers against Marseille in the company of Ray Wilkins and Davy Cooper. Ray, when the goal came, Alan Boksic, he scored well. I mean, it was in the right position, but he took it well.
He took it really well. As the ball came through, we saw Richard actually is picking up Boksic here, and he gets drawn into the ball and leaves Boksic alone. I think if we're going to see it again, you'll see Richard go up for the initial header, but now he leaves Boksic. John's actually got Völler in a good area. He's not really going to get enormous quality in. Had Goffey stayed slightly more with Boksic, I think he would have made a challenge. But Richard, in his efforts to get across and help John, has left him alone, and the finish was quite superb.
You'd agree with that, David?
Yeah, this is the quality of these players, of course. Only certain players will see that pass inside, and Rudy Völler got into position, and he knew that Boksic was inside him, and he just put it through his legs, and they ended up, and it's a great finish, a first touch finish. Andy Gonham had no chance whatsoever. You're
rightly concerned, Davy, about the space Rangers are giving Marseille, and this was shown towards the end of the first half. Didier Deschamps just charged through, and this was so dangerous and could have been a second.
I think Rangers are now, they've come to the stage now where they're pushing forward a wee bit. They've got to get something from the game, and they are going to leave spaces for such as that to happen. I think this is a big worry for the second half. If they go and charge forward, they're going to leave spaces at the back and give Marseille even more of the ball than what they have, and you've always got to watch the break now.
Abedi Pele he's been pretty quiet, Ray, he hasn't done a lot, but towards the end of the first half, typically, when he got a sniff of goal, he had a go and, well, almost did it.
Yeah, he's like the rest, very, very talented guy, and they work so hard to win back possession. You see the ball knocked off there, and it's a stinging shot that just flies past Andy's left-hand post. But they've got to be concerned now, because they're going to try and push forward and get something back from the game, and they could well hit them on the break again.
So how does Walter combat that? As you rightly say, they will push forward. What can they do about that? They have to push forward, Ray.
I think Rangers have got to take the initiative, or try and take the initiative away from Marseille by playing more people up front in their side. They're allowing them it's far too easy for Marseille to get out. Rangers aren't putting them under any pressure at all, and you can see the way Marseille are putting Rangers under pressure every time they receive the ball. But Rangers aren't doing it up the Marseille end of the field. I think Richard Goff will come off. He didn't look as if he will play any further part. So it could be Davy Dodds going up front with Mark Haley, which could change the course of the game.
The thing is, Davy, we said before the match, Barthez, the goalkeeper, could be a bit dodgy, but he hasn't had a lot to do, has he?
That's right. I mean, he's not been under pressure at all, apart from the one header from Mark Haley, but we've not seen a lot of him. As Ray said, Rangers now have got to get up front, get somebody up to help, and really keep the ball in that half of the field and try and get some from the game. They're one down now anyway, so they've really got to take a chance now and get forward and try and get back into the match.
During the commercial break there, Ray, you and I were talking about the rule, the foreigners' rule, and how they're so limited tonight about the number of foreigners they can play or even have on the bench, i.e. none. It's fairly ludicrous, isn't it?
Well, I think so, yeah. You've got the likes of David Murray that are prepared to spend lots of money to bring quality players to Ibrox, and like the likes of Berlusconi, who's paid lots of money, and Tappy, and they can't use the players that they want to use. I find it a ludicrous situation that these guys can only play in their domestic league. OK,
Ray Davey, for the moment, thanks. The teams are coming out at Ibrox for the second half, so let's rejoin our commentary team, Jerry McNee and Gordon McQueen.
And welcome back to Ibrox, and there is 19-year-old Stephen Presley who has come into the side. Richard Goff has failed to come out for the second half as expected, and Stephen Presley signed from Inverkeithing Boys Club a couple of years ago. Elgin Bourne is taking up the right back position. David McPherson, as expected, has moved in alongside John Brown at centre back. So Rangers' resources being really tested tonight, and when you think they have the likes of Dale Gordon, Peter Haustra and Oleg Kuznetsov, £3 million worth of talent, cannot play because of the UEFA foreigner rule. And this is something that Rangers intend to challenge in the European court, and certainly we can send the tape of this evening's events as evidence. But right away, Rangers getting the ball forward. Mikhailichenko. This is Durant. Mikhailichenko again. Good challenge there by Bernard Cassoni. There's a better start by Rangers, no doubt. Walter Smith and Archie Knox firing them up at half-time. They have a huge task in their hands. Not really a direct shot on target in the first half. They failed to pressure Barthez in the Marseille goal. And they really do have to get someone up alongside Mark Hateley in this second half if they're to achieve anything. Certainly, based on the first half performance, if they get a point out of tonight's proceedings, it would indeed be a good result. So there's Basil Bolly for Marseille. It's returned by Brown. Slipped there by Trevor Stephen, though. This is Desailly, who wants to come out of defence when possible. Good turn there by Boksic, being chased by Presley. Still Boksic. This is Desailly. Deschamps. This is Sosi. And wild effort there by Frank Sosi, who returned to Marseille last year after a couple of seasons at Monaco. He also had a spell at Sochaux. He's won a couple of championship medals with Marseille. So the rain pouring down again, and the wind blowing as well, making it extremely difficult. There's Presley going into the challenge. It breaks out to Deschamps. It's Sosi playing it to Abdi Pele. Mikhailichenko is back there helping in defence. Twisting and turning there from Pele. This is N'Gloma. And John Brown stepping in. And that's Rangers' throw. Cleared upfield by Robertson. Touched by Hateley, looking for Trevor Stephen. Cassoni stretching in there. Voller. Deschamps. Challenged by Hateley. That's Presley. And that one just overhit by Neil Murray there. He was challenged by Alan Boksic. It was just enough to put him off. And Rangers now with a couple of teenagers on the field, and the resources really stretched tonight, having lost Ali McCoist and Richard Gough having to go off at half-time.
I still feel Rangers have got to show a positive approach in this second half, but at the same time not to throw caution to the wind, because when you look at the quality of the players up front for Marseille, you know, if they push too many bodies forward, they could get punished badly at the back. It's a bit of a teaser for Walter Smith.
McPherson's header. Deschamps won it well there. This is Dimeco. Desailly. And McCall running into trouble there in the shape of Deschamps. This is Sosi. McPherson got the touch for Rangers. Stephen to Durant. And Marseille quicker to the ball. And this has got to be a worry for Rangers. Dimeco. Well, 36 years ago, when Rangers first went into Europe back in 1956 in the Champions Cup, it was they faced French opposition in Nice and ultimately lost in a playoff. And here tonight they're trailing Olympique Marseille by 1-0. Here's David Robertson. Can he do something with his pace here? Referee indicating handball against the Rangers fullback. But certainly the pace Robertson has can maybe lift Rangers.
Yeah, it was a pity. I think the ball just bobbled up there and hit Davy Robertson in the arm, because it was a great through ball by John Brown, and as you said there, Jerry, Davy Robertson's pace, got tremendous pace. They looked to be getting into a dangerous situation, but free kick was given against them.
Good play again by Marseille. That was Sozi's shot. Murray did well there. And Hitley virtually assaulted there by Desailly. The referee's shown a lot of patience so far. Marcel Desailly, who was born in Ghana but opted for French citizenship, and he's played for the under-21s. Referee there, who speaks good English and German, keeping a firm grip of the proceedings. But the offside flag going up there against Hitley. And you can see just how heavy the rain is. Well, there was a threat earlier on today to the Milan match because of fog. It's pouring down here in Glasgow, and maybe you wonder if this is the right time of the year to play such important matches. Certainly in the grip of winter, and of course CSKA Moscow have had to move out of Russia altogether because it's -20 there. Again, Marseille knocking it about with some style, and it's Presley getting in just ahead of Voller. Demeco got the touch. It's Neil Murray in there, but it's Demeco again. Marseille knocking it about with plenty of confidence, and they look more than capable of adding to the goal they've already scored. This is Cassoni. Voller to Pelé. This is Hitley, but he's very much a lone ranger at the moment. No one within yards of him. Plenty of Marseille players around him. The rain really hammering down now. And it's given away by Trevor Steven to Pelé. This is Boksic. That's Ian Durant for Rangers. It really must be very difficult for the players there, but that's a very late challenge by Bolly. And the referee is calling the Marseille player over. Well, Bully already has a booking against his name in this competition.
Yeah, I think it'd be fortunate, Jerry, if he doesn't get booked here. In fact, indeed he is.
Well, that effectively puts Basil Bully out of the next match, which is 2 weeks tonight against Club Brugge of Belgium. Certainly an uncompromising player, and the man who delivered the Marseille kiss is Stuart Pearce, and then said he wanted to play in England.
Yeah, but he certainly deserved that, but when he really launched himself into that tackle, they were dangerous.
So he's suspended for the next game, but it's tonight that matters. And here come Marseille again. Headed down there by Presley. Getting some applause from the Rangers fans. They really haven't had much to cheer about tonight. Everything seems to have gone wrong for Rangers. Going up for 55 minutes. Rangers 0, Marseille 1. Alan Boksic after 30 minutes, set up by Rudy Voller. John Brown a bit high there with his boot, and Marseille have the free kick.
Yeah, young Stephen Presley at right back settled in nicely, but I think the Rangers' main concern is getting some support from Mark Haitley. It looked in the initial period of the game that Ian Durant was going to be up there in the supporting role, but that hasn't really materialised.
Well, McPherson getting his head to the ball. It's returned there though by Deschamps. This is Boksic. Desailly. This is Bolly. Sosie. Brown colliding there with Murray. It breaks through to Durant, who's under a lot of pressure there from Sosie. And Bloma comes motoring forward. The ball's cleared though by Robertson. Only as far as Bolly. And Marseille keeping Rangers pinned inside their own half. This is Brown. Gives it away to Deschamps. Rangers fans are clearly unhappy. This is Eric Dimeco. Sosie. Voller's in there with Presley. Well, a disaster for Rangers. Rudy Voller makes it 2-0. 66 minutes gone. 56 minutes gone. And Rudy Voller makes it 2-0 to Marseille. A slip there by Presley. The ball drifted in behind Gorham. Presley was under pressure all the way from Voller, and the German international player had the easiest of tasks to knock the ball into the net.
Yeah, Demeco knocks this one, and just after saying Stephen Presley had settled in nicely, little lob over, should have dealt with it a little bit better, maybe try to clear it, which in fact he did, knocked it past Andy Gorham, and Rudy Voller knocks it into an empty net. This just looks like an impossible task for Rangers, because really they've been completely outplayed in the middle of the park. Cassini's organising wonderfully well at the back.
And that's Bolly making the clearance. Well, Rangers will try to fight back here, but you can see the commitment and the speed of these Marseille players. Well, they were very impressive when they were here in late July, and they're impressive again tonight. Stephen knocking the ball just too far in front there, and he's caught by Demeco. And Trevor Stephen will require some treatment here. Well, the referee having a word with the Marseille player, but Stephen did look to me to have knocked the ball just a little bit far in front.
Yeah, Demeco comes rushing in here, and it looked not a bad challenge. I mean, just his momentum carried him through, and Trevor Stephen toppled over his legs. But I really think it's too much to be asking of Rangers when to be throwing in two kids, one from the start, young Neil Murray, Stephen Presley, and for Richard Gough at the start of the second half, and be expected to beat Marseille. Really, the foreigners' rules hit Rangers really badly. And as you were saying earlier, Jerry, it's a rule that Rangers are fighting, and hopefully they'll win it. As you say, no Dale Gordon, no Hoostra, knock his nets off. The second goal again, just a little lob over the top. Maybe an experience, a defender that was a little bit more experienced would have handled that better. But he leaves the simplest of tasks for Rudy Voller.
So it's Gately trying to get forward for Rangers, but Cassini standing firm. This is young Neil Murray battling away here. That's Presley. Desai is in ahead of Gately and happy to concede the throw-in.